Alright, so it looks like I'm the only one on right now. That's okay. I figured that would be the case here, but until we have a couple people, or at least one person joining, I'm just going to talk a bit. We do have a live stream going on today with Pig for Life Reviews. This is going to be focusing on our Mastermind Creations R-23 Dicamus. Their version of Roadbuster. So I put up a review, I think yesterday or the day before, focusing on this guy, showing off the transformations. If you haven't seen that, you can click my page and go ahead and check that out. But as people join, this is really focusing on trying to answer questions that what people have about this figure, so they can decide whether they want to buy him or not. So it looks like we have a few folks. Start commenting and leaving something in the chat that you want to see. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and push this guy back a bit and bring out some comparisons that I know folks had already asked about. And I forget who it was. I'll have to go back and look. But someone asked me to go ahead and bring out the Fans Project version of Roadbuster, their revolver. And you can see just how stark a difference it is in just terms of the overall bulk that you get. Sorry, my display or shooting area is not very secure. I need to swap that out sometime soon to something that's a little bit more stable. But can the feet rotate the other way? Yeah, so I did show that off. So give me a second so we can start with these kind of comparisons first. And you can see how drastically different all of them are. They all kind of have that same blocky chest with a gap kind of at the front here. Mostly the front of the hood, I guess, or the hood of the car. But in terms of sheer bulk, this guy definitely looks the most like what we're expecting. Yeah, you're a bad supporter, Chad. But you can see he is really big. Let's do a side. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm doing a terrible job here. Yeah, even at the side, you can see just how bulky he is. And one thing I did want to note is a lot of people have been commenting on the lack of weaponry, or they feel that he should have more weapons. I actually spent a good amount of time researching, or at least, researching, I mean, Googling a lot of pictures of the IDW Roadbuster. And by and large, what he typically had was a right shoulder missile, a rifle, and then maybe a handgun. So I think that he usually had about 3 weapons. The Generations one had a bunch. This guy has a couple more. He has 2 handguns and a shoulder, which actually combine into a rifle. But by and large, I don't think he came super weaponed up. But if you guys remember a scene where he does come with like a whole lot more than what he has now, let me know. So somebody asked about... Hello? Somebody asked about the feet. So the feet can't turn around like just the feet itself, but the entire lower leg at the shin can rotate around. So you can have kind of the chunkier foot, but then you have the wheel showing. So it's up to you. Another person asked whether you could just kind of like swap this around. I don't know. I have an open mind up to do that, but I'm going to say probably not. Also because in the alt mode, he flips down, and this part actually has a groove for where the gun tabs in, kind of like this. It slots in like this, and this slot here accommodates this thing here. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the wheel showing. So if you wanted to swap it out, you wouldn't be able to mount the gun on the alt mode. But if you're gonna display for robot mode anyway, I mean, that's what people want that foot for. I guess it doesn't hurt all that much. Oh, so somebody said that they're referring to the G1 toy where he has a bunch of weapons. So I mean, you can't have it all, right? So when people are saying that, when people are saying that the G1 figure had a lot of weapons, all right, well, this is not supposed to be meant to be a G1 homage. It's supposed to be More Than Meets the Eye version, right? Or IDW, Sins of the Records kind of version. So people said the same thing about the Mastermind Creations, Carnifex, which is clearly supposed to be a More Than Meets the Eye version of Overlord. And then they were saying it's not G1 enough, but it's not meant to be that. And then when they came out with a G1 upgrade set, people were like, why do we have to pay extra for this? Blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, if he is supposed to be weaponed up in G1 form, I get that, but he's not a G1 guy, so he's not a G1 homage. If you're going to get a G1 version with a lot of weapons, I would expect that to be kind of an MP style, not an IDW style. So what do you guys want to see in terms of comparisons? I know a lot of people wanted to see what he looks like with his Wrecker Brethren, which I did show off in the review. But here he is with Spartan. And I think, in general, I think he is smaller than what you would expect a real Roadbuster to be. But I don't think people would want to pay that much money to have him this much taller and cost, like $30 more. At least I wouldn't, right? Even $20 more. But I think they look quite good together. Yeah, Chad, you're right. But it's just kind of I don't know, it's kind of annoying to hear some comparisons with a version of the character that's clearly not meant to homage or be representative of. Since we have him, nobody's really asking questions. A really quick comparison with his mold mate, Titanica, and that's where the chunky toe version comes from, having this forward. But of course, with her, you can also swap it around to the back. It's up to you. Hers looks a little bit weirder since she has like purple toes. Oh, so one thing that I did want to address as far as weapons go. So people have been asking why some people have more an extra rifle. His rifle the extra rifle comes from Planet Steel Express and online retailers. I think it's basically the operating arm of Mastermind Creations, I think. But what they did is they often offer exclusives if you order with them for MMC stuff. And what they did was they actually gave you another rifle that it was Titanica's rifle, which is different than Dicamus's rifle. And so you got a green one molded like this. So you would have two rifles. So if you haven't ordered one and you really want more weapons, you might want to order with Planet Steel Express. But hopefully that answers some people's questions about why some people are getting that and some people aren't. I haven't seen it, but people have been commenting on that. And I actually went ahead and confirmed with Mastermind Creations that is the case. Size with Azalea. Chad. She actually has six wheels in her alt mode. Like she has 3 on each side, and he only has 2 on each side. So give me a second. Somebody asked about Azalea. I actually have her. Give me a second. Looks good. Worth spot right here. People are saying that he does not have enough of paint. As far as paint goes, we'll go into that in a second. But here he is with Azalea, and she's pretty tiny. So you get an idea of how big he is. I don't know if I have a deluxe right now. I don't think I have a deluxe figure that can give you an idea. I wish I had my cup out, but I don't. And here's Voyager Springer from Generations. So as far as paint goes, he actually has probably more paint than most people were expecting. Yeah, she's not great, but I think she's pretty good. So as far as paint, one thing people like or may not like is that this whole chest piece here, this entire front part, is painted glossy orange. It might be hard to see because their molded plastic is usually a pretty glossy, semi-glossy color. And so, now that I have it flipped back around, I actually do kind of like it this way. We're gonna do the review like this for right now. In forms, he's supposed to be He's supposed to be Roadbuster, but this is all painted glossy, which is different. And I think that's the only place where he's painted glossy orange. So it's an interesting choice. It's not so different than the rest of the plastic, since again their plastic is pretty glossy in itself, that you're gonna probably complain about it. But some people are like, no, I don't want paint, but they want paint elsewhere. But I think he has a decent amount of paint, not a whole lot, but he has some details here: silver, blue. This part is painted brown, stuff like that. Not a whole lot, but I think if you've come to understand the MMC line, they generally don't have a ton of plastic anyway. Like stuff like this, the grill, they have to have silver because, you know, that's what they need to do to get that look. But like Azalea has like, I don't think she has like any plastic paint except maybe on her face and her weapons. So unsurprising to me. Would it be nice to have more paint details? Probably, yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna complain about that, but I don't know again how accurate that would be to the figure. And then just some paint on the gun. That's about it. Alright, so I don't think I've been missing very many comments. Is there anything you guys want to see? Transformation. Transformation is pretty easy, but I've shown that before. Let me go back real quick. Why Mastermind Creations loves drift swords so much? Remolding. I mean, a lot of people like swords. Yeah, Silver, yeah, he's supposed to be Roadbuster, so hopefully I answered your question. Okay. I think I'm caught up. So if no one's going to ask any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick transformation just so you guys can see what that's like. The only other thing maybe that would be nice is, I think his hands are kind of weird. They're kind of, the fingers are kind of rounded so that you can get these, what they're calling knuckle dusters. I think it would be okay if it had one more joint of articulation, because right now you only can get like a C grip going on. So I think I would have been okay if he was pretty articulate on the hands. Yeah, he is pretty straightforward, so I don't think we're going to have the whole hour, but if people have other questions with this figure or something else, I'm happy to try to switch gears if it's not that interesting. But yeah, in terms of transformation, it's pretty straightforward like most of Mastermind Creation stuff. It's not that complicated. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, get the grill out, and I can still answer questions if people have them while I'm transforming. Oh, and this does have the alternate head. I actually prefer this one. I think most people will, but he does come with this kind of weird, I don't know, every time I look at it, I think of like Metroid for some reason. I have no idea why. But in any case, it's on a ball joint. You can pop it off and pop it on if you wanted to. I would highly recommend doing the screw though. But very easy to swap out. We'll just flip that out, unpeg the chest, flip this up, and then these pegs here we're going to peg into these corresponding spaces. But first, what we'll do is kind of get the arms out of the way. Yeah, come in here and peg these in. Are most of you guys actually getting this figure? Or do you guys already have Striker? This folds in, and you'll see that there's grooves here for the chest piece to fit into. What about you, Chad? Are you going to actually get this guy? I know you're trying to focus more on masterpiece stuff. Did Chad already leave? Not one of my favorite generation, but pretty nice. Probably Igor. I don't know that. Well, we only have like 12 people on here, so it's probably pretty good chance that you're the only Brazilian on the two halves. Kind of fold in. Yeah, I mean, I started off as a masterpiece collector. MSRP I think is 109, something like that, which is I think is $5 cheaper than Titanica, which is a nice welcome change. But as far as I actually started as a MP collector only, but MMC, and after reading More Than Meets the Eye and Last Stand of the Wreckers, I definitely got sucked into getting an IDW shelf, which has grown a lot. I mean, mostly thanks to the official line, but also Mastermind Creations. Like their Spartan, I love that Spartan. I think it's really cool. I like the alt mode that they have. Looking forward to some of their future releases in terms of more IDW stuff, like their Drift. I've been waiting for that one for quite a while. I heard they're going through some additional revisions, but I would really like to see that Drift come out sometime soon. Do you watch the cartoon at all, or just collect? Which cartoon? The G1 cartoon? Yes. I haven't been watching RID because I watched like the first or season and a half, and only MMC I have in the queue is Hot Rod. Really? I don't know. That one I think is kind of a hit or miss. And in some cases I think it looks better than that other one, like Flame, something they're talking about. But I don't know. SXX something Flame. Silver. I definitely watched G1. I have G1 the entire set on Blu-ray or DVD or Blu-ray. I had the movie on Blu-ray. Actually, two versions of it on Blu-ray. I had like I think like the Australian version on Blu-ray before they actually announced the US version. But definitely watched the cartoon. I rewatched it with my son when he was like 4, so 2 years ago when I started getting back into collecting. But RID, I really enjoyed Prime a lot. I think that was one of the better, maybe second best, or first best. If you don't think about nostalgia. I have MSC Megatron pre-order. Oh yeah, so Megatron, the pre-order for that. I mean the mold for that. I don't know a lot about that. I wish that I knew a little bit more about it. I got to play around with it in TFCon, this past TFCon, but it was incomplete. So it didn't have any of the pieces really necessary to make them into a complete jet or tank, or I think it's like a flying jet tank, basically. So they didn't allow me to transform him, unfortunately. I will be getting Boreas, their Cyclonus, this coming week, though. Why does Prime get a lot of flack? I thought the story was awesome. And I thought, it is kind of movie-ish, but not so terrible. And then, we had original Megatron and Optimus Prime voices. Since I just transformed this guy, I don't have really anything good to compare. Again, I'll bring out Streak, because that's just what I do nowadays. Here, why not bring out Grimlock? Because I have him in his alt mode. But I like the alt mode a lot. I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know if we actually see a lot of his alt mode. The only picture I even remember seeing his alt mode is that one scene where they're like kind of riding it together, and Cup is like sitting on top of him. Yeah, I don't know. You and your MacGuffins, Chad. But I think this looks really, really quite nice. A lot of people liked the fact that MMC let up and included the second missile launcher, so you can create the bumper look. What is AHM? He had a little in AHM and Sins. What is AHM? All Hail Megatron. I'm stupid. I just realized it. Acronyms, they're hard. So I kind of like this look. And again, if you pre-ordered from PSX, you'll get another rifle of this variety, even though it will be green in color. So maybe you'll have an idea of what you'll get if you pre-order for them. And I think that's sufficiently weaponed up. Like, how much more weapons do you need? I do kind of miss the fact that we don't get a lot of working missile launchers from third party, like spring-loaded weapons and stuff like that. I kind of like that. I wish we got a little bit more of that from third party, like this one. Phew. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of chat, so hush your mouth. What? Oh, maybe I missed something. Alright, is there anything I want to see? How much does this figure could you want? It costs $109 US in the US for most of them. It's difficult to get TF apart from Masterpiece. You could always get them overseas, Juan, but I know a lot of people have problems with customs fees and everything like that. Yeah, I think this alt mode looks pretty good. I will say it's a little bit more gappy in some areas than I hadn't noticed before. Like you can see a little bit of gappiness here and through here. It's not bad, and I hadn't noticed it until this third time doing a review of it. But overall, it looks good. So people are asking about whether you can swap the feet or not. Again, if you wanted to swap the feet, I don't know how it would work because it would be too big, I would think, to actually get on here. And then you would lose the ability to mount the gun here. I guess you could still mount the gun here or like here, I suppose. I guess this would be kind of cool. It would be like a top-mounted artillery gun. The plastic and reformatting line is definitely not the same as MP. MP, like official MP, I think is actually kind of softer. This is, I think, denser, and this is more glossy. So it's different. Both are good in different ways. I feel like the recent MP plastic has been a little bit better, and takes paint really well, but they don't do a lot of paint here. But the paint that they do have is pretty well. So I didn't even notice they have paint in here. These details that honestly you probably wouldn't care about, but they have paint in here. I think I would like this. And then the only other thing that I think they did a really good job on are the wheels. So the wheels actually can come off if you wanted to do that. You know, if you want to jack his tires and put them up on some cinder blocks. And this is rubber tire. And it's actually quite nice. You don't really get that with MPs anymore either, which is kind of sad. I like the grills. I think it would have been cool if you had some paint on the grills and themselves. Maybe like, I don't know, a gray or black or something like that. But again, they're probably trying to get as accurate as possible. Oh yeah, so Dr. 3ST4, they actually just showed, I shared on my Facebook page, they showed a picture of the colored test shot of Buzzard. So their next MP cassette, they showed a color picture of that, the yellow one. Obviously Buzzsaw. I want photo proof of what? Chad, I have no idea what you're talking about. What's it called? You see me calling out Chad a lot. It's actually because we're friends. He lives close by. We're gonna have a meetup again, another local meetup next month, which will be nice. Oh, up on cinder blocks? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if he was on cinder blocks. But overall, I think, yeah, again, fandom is going to be fandom. They're going to complain about everything, regardless of whether I think it's a worthwhile complaint or not. But I feel like MMC's getting it a little bit more than usual with the weapons and the paint, which, I don't know. I think maybe with the weapons, it's because we got some other weapons with the other mold, so people were like, oh, maybe we should get those thrown in as well. But they're also probably trying to keep costs down, right? And the fact that they actually remolded the gun, I thought was kind of interesting, instead of having two of the same gun for Titanica and Strika. Yeah, so what were you guys' thoughts on the pricing? So this guy's like 110, which I think is kind of in line with what they've been pricing figures at recently. But I think there has been a trend, and I think I've talked about it in some other videos, that the pricing for third party has become really competitive. A lot of really nice figures hitting under $100. For example, like Ocular Max's stuff, they did a really good job in keeping like Sphinx. I think when he first was released was like under $90, and I love Sphinx. I thought that was a really excellent MP style character. What other figures are really well priced? So I posted about what's his name, Striker Manus, on the forums earlier today, about how I think people are gushing over that figure way too much for what you get, but he is excellently priced. I think that's one thing that Striker Manus has really got going for it. It's really excellently priced and really well articulated in robot mode. So if you're looking for that, I think Striker Manus does a really good job. But I don't think he's like phenomenal or anything like that. Chad, remember when you and I were at TFCon last year and we got to mess with the samples? I thought it was okay. I wasn't blown away by it or anything like that. And Luke has clearly read my post about how I don't I didn't know. So let's get this straight. I said it's a great figure, a good figure, a great figure at a great price. I just don't think it's like amazing, right? Yeah, Chad didn't buy him, I didn't buy him, and we both got to sample him early. So we thought it was kind of cool, but maybe it's just because I didn't want to collect another line that I didn't want to really invest in. But I thought their Megatron was pretty cool. I got to mess with that for quite a while. But yeah, Striker Man is a really good figure, great price. But I don't know. People are saying that it's like the figure of the year and stuff like that. I just don't see that at all. Oh, and as far as Classics Prime, I get a lot of heat from Classics Prime. At least with Noir, you get all those weapons. Is it a lot more expensive? I have not been keeping up with Striker Noir, but the weapons do look pretty cool. Like, that's an awesome weapon set. I don't think it would really work for Roadbuster, obviously. But aside from the limited articulation in the kind of forward lateral, like this is as far out as you can really get while having the arm out. 10 more than Manus. That's actually a great price. Yeah, $90 for that. I think that's a great price, especially with all those weapons. But again, I think the alt mode is really weak looking, and the transformation is just kind of like meh. I don't know. The lack of articulation doesn't bother me too much because I don't really have. See, the only thing that you're kind of missing is the ability to do this, which I don't know if I really need that. But obviously it's annoying though. See, you can't really do much about that. I mean, you can get the arm around like this or something like that, but I don't know. It's either gonna bother you or it's not. For me, it doesn't really bother me that much because I'm probably gonna have him kind of in a hulking pose, like I did when I started off this video, where he's just gonna be kind of walking around with his two guns like this, kind of crouched down. Like that's probably how I'll display him. So I don't really need that articulation, but it does seem like a really big oversight in the design stage to not have that. Some people were saying, if you could do something with this piece here, like if it was two pieces and it folded down on double hinges over itself, that would have solved the problem. Yeah, I think that would have been a fairly easy implementation, but who knows? I'm not a designer. Looks like a Gundam. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe kind of like more of like a Zaku almost. Oh, when he's holding his guns, yeah. So as I said, next week I'll probably do a live stream of Boreas. That's MMC's Cyclonus. I've said in the past that I think that's the weakest. How easy it is to switch out the head. It's one screw here. So literally just unscrew this. Split it open, not even all the way. You don't even have to split the head apart. Just split it open like this and just pop it on and screw it back on. Super easy. Yeah, I showed it as well. Boreas is just coming to me for early review / instruction manual, but it should be coming out within the next few weeks. Like I actually got this review sample I think after some people were already getting their retail version in Asia. So I get it usually like a week early just so I can do the instructions for everyone. The one thing I haven't had a chance to do is review these and do the instructions, just because I had to clarify, because they don't send me any instructions with this or anything like that. But a couple of these are really hard to actually install, like these two, so I had to get some clarifications on that. For Boreas, yeah, I did, but they make me do it for every single character basically, because there are, even with the what's it called, the Jaegertron mold or whatever mold that is with Cyclonus, they actually usually ask me to do instructions because they are slightly different. Hopefully they made some improvements on that mold, because I thought that was the weakest entry into the MMM series that they've done. Like, I can't think of a worse figure. You know, I know, Chad, you probably think that this probably would be worse. I don't think this figure is bad at all. I mean, for the price, I think was it like $55-$60? I actually like this figure. I think she looks really nice. Does anyone have any other comparisons or anything like that they'd like to see? Again, I don't have a ton of... Well, here, I'm just going to bring out some wreckers. Here he is there. Transformation is horrendous? Really? Transformation not bad. Oh, with Azalea, okay. MP10? I actually did that comparison in my review. I'm surprised people actually care. Revolver Core, I did that earlier, but I'll go ahead and bring him out right now. And then I had the Generations one out as well. Give me a second, I'll bring him out. What other records do I have? I have a Drift. I have some Blur. Yeah, sorry everyone, I'm going into my shelves. So, the reason why it's going silent for a bit. So I don't have, I just got Topspin from Chad actually, but Chad, he gave it to one of our other local friends, and I haven't had a chance to pick that up yet, so I need to get my Topspin. Yeah, Andrew, yeah, I'm trying to get to everyone, but it's just a matter of actually getting to everyone. And my record shelf is actually pretty full, so I'm trying to get more characters out here. The Mech Ideas guys are really great, except for the fact that their hips suck. They're really loose. I can barely get them to stand up. Oh, that wasn't Piston. What was their name for Mech Ideas' name for that guy? Piston was the black one. But somebody told me I need to go ahead and read Sins of the Wreckers, but it's kind of unfinished. I think that's enough. I don't know if you guys really need more comparisons here. Hasbro Roadbuster? Yeah, exactly. The Hasbro Roadbuster is terrible. This mold is just awful. Did it even... Oh, Gauntlet. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Yeah. Did I get everything? I think I got everyone else. Everyone else's requests. I do have a legend size figure though, so maybe just to throw them in. Yeah. So yeah, Anthony. Yeah, I definitely need to pick up Sins. But everyone's who was it? Was it you, Trent, that said that they're done, but then, but that it kind of left it open for a trilogy or something like that? Oh, so Juan, we do live streams with Pyong and Bobby Skullface. I did one with actually showing our faces. Well, not Bobby, obviously, because he's a Skullface. But we did one just this past TFCon in. Was it Canada that we did it? We always do a reviewer roundtable for the last 2 or 3 years. PL was in it a couple times. We had Ben's Collectibles one time that wasn't there. We always have Vangelis kind of emceeing it. I'm always there. HS3 and up is usually there and stuff like that. So, sorry for mixing you up with someone else, Trent. But yeah, so if you like Bobby Skullface and PL, definitely check out the one we did this past TFCon. I think it's on Ages 3 and Up's site or their YouTube page, because they're the ones that kind of usually host it or get everyone together. And we did MMC's Megatron there. It was kind of like a Megatron fiesta. We had 3A's Megatron, I think. We had MMC's. We had the Triple Changer from that Bold Forms. Yeah, this is United Drift. Did you actually end up talking to Ken, Chad, to get that United Drift? I really like this version. I think this is the version that what's his name? Azim did. This one? This is Mech Ideas. And this is the exclusive that was hand painted, I think, by Azim Bengsta. But I really like that version. I wish it did some more customs like that. You're still waiting to be approved by Cyberjunk Cafe? Alright, I'll talk to one of the admins, like Greg or something like that. They should be able to get you in pretty quickly. But yeah, this United Drift is awesome. I can't wait for MMC's Drift version as well. Yeah, actually, Pyog is pretty close to me. He's in Richmond. I'm in Virginia as well. He's about a 2-hour drive from me, so it's not like I get to meet up with him a lot. But he's fairly close, and he's a great guy. He's one of the reviewers that I watched before I got started reviewing, and I still do. I think he's the only reviewer that I still consistently watch all the time, along with like Vangelis and Ages 3 and Up. I watch Ages 3 and Up not for the reviews, but just because Boris and Alex are kind of funny, and I love their bloopers. All right. So anybody who's just joined late, do you guys want to see anything? Do you guys want me to swap the head out just so you guys have an idea of what that looks like, maybe? Yeah, Vangelis is great. Never meet your heroes. Chad, why? You're a big PL fan too. I think didn't you carpool with him to one of the TF cons not too long ago, like 2 years ago or something like that. PL is definitely one of my heroes. Iron Man pose? No Iron Man pose. I refuse. I think the box actually has an Iron Man pose on it too. So to mount this is pretty easy. You just need to loosen that one Phillips head, get it on. It has a couple of pegs on the base, and then you just screw it back in. And like that, we have Roadbuster with his retail stock head. And I'm actually not sure what this is from. Is this from one of the... Is this maybe the more G1 one? Or no, that wouldn't make sense. I have no idea where the head is from. But it doesn't look like the Wrecker's head. Last Stand of the Wrecker's head. Does anyone have the Generations Voyager Roadbuster? Yeah, I have him here. I've shown him a couple times. He looks terrible. Yep, and he's awful. we can do a short review of him if you'd like. I'm missing a couple of guns from him, or one gun at least from him. And the missile flew off somewhere. I shot it earlier. Yeah, so if you guys are looking for a crappy transformation, check this out. Boom. Alright, Chad. Have a good one, man. Alright, let's see. Transforming this guy. We're doing a review of Roadbusters. Yeah, but once we do this, I think all the requests have been kind of fulfilled. If you guys have any other questions about other figures that I've recently reviewed or something like that, I'm happy to talk about that as well. But this was kind of focusing on Roadbuster. Next week, or maybe the week after, depending on what my work schedule is like, I'll be doing one on Boreas, the MMC version of Cyclonus and that mold. And I'm really hoping they made some good improvements to that mold, because that mold is definitely awful. If you guys own any of that mold, you'll know what I'm talking about. Although, I mean, I kind of like Anubis, but I think Jaegertron is the best use of that mold. He just looks best. But that mold itself, yeah, it's questionable engineering on parts of that. So I haven't heard from MMC regarding any changes, but they said that should be shipping to me probably tomorrow, so I'll get it maybe by the end of the week or early next week. So depending on that, we'll have another live stream. MP36, let me see. Hold on, let me make sure I'm... Nautica Blur is bad? Who's Nautica Blur? Oh, Nautica. Oh, so from what's it called? Are you talking about from the set that just came out, Velocitron set? But MP36, I still really like MP36. I haven't had a whole lot of time because I've been really busy to just sit down and mess with him. I do still have complaints about, you know, the overall QC and the paint and stuff like that. But I still really enjoy that figure. And after, you know, transforming him like a dozen times just to get ready for the review, I actually had the review the transformation pretty down pat. So I'm not too concerned about that. But the paint scrapes and stuff like that, I think I'm going to need Toy Dojo to send me some replacement parts. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't collected that set. I was really going to, and I was going to do a review, so I got it, but then I ended up returning it because it got too busy, and then I decided I don't want $100 set of figures that I really don't care about. I did recently buy the what was it? The Heroes of Cybertron set. It was on sale on eBay for like $70 or something like that, and I just got them. I have no idea what's bad about Nautica, but people have been going crazy over that figure. People were paying like $60 or $70 for it just from that set, just because people are, I guess, desperate for a Nautica mold. I thought it looked pretty good, just from the pictures I've seen. But again, and I like I think the blur mold is actually quite good. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear why the Nautica mold is bad. Well, it's not worth $60. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's worth $60 either. But people are crazy and they're paying for that. But $15, I can't see why it can be. I don't see why it would be that bad, right? Come on, there we go. Put this flap underneath here. I'm disappointed that they made the quick switch without even remolding the head or anything like that. It's basically just 6-shot with different colors, not even any part remolded, I don't think. But again, I'm just going off of what I've read online, since I didn't end up keeping that set. And then people are going really crazy over Fastlane too, right? Or whatever, whatever their new name for. I think the new name for him is Fastlane. But people are a little crazy out there. I don't know why people would spend that much money on a, basically Legends class figure. But people do with their own money what they want. I spend it on crazy stuff too. I think I have like 8 versions of MP10, or at least that mold. So who am I to talk? How was that Starscream? The panel lining is really awesome. Replaced the official one on the shelf. Yeah, I mean, I have so many of the Seeker mold and even Starscream. I think I probably have 4 different Starscreams that I'm not really looking to get another one, even though that probably is much nicer with the paint applications. But it's good to hear that they're keeping up the quality of that line of Seekers. BB7 has been doing a really good job. All the KOs recently have been really high quality. I haven't messed with the Soundwave one yet, but I heard that's generally pretty good, and they ended up adding ratchets to basically all the joints, like the waist joint and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But I love the Soundwave mold, so maybe I'll get one just to review. I'll ask Toy Dojo if they can send me one to review for you guys. Is it worth making Nautica out of a RID Deluxe Strong Arm mold? I have no idea. KO Ratchet is awesome. Almost too. I don't know. The Ratchet mold I think is pretty awful. Is the KO one like improved at all? Because I know one version, like the Black Apple version, was gonna have some fillers and improvements to the side skirts and the back. But the straight up KO, I don't know. Silver, I did not buy the Shattered Glass MP10 because I have so many of them that I decided I'm not going to invest in another MP10, especially one because I wasn't around when Shattered Glass was a thing, so I don't think I have any Shattered Glass. The only Shattered Glass maybe Transformer I have is the Drift mold, right? Is that Shattered Glass? No, that's not Shattered Glass. The red one. Yeah, I have the Shattered Glass Red Drift. That's about it. The THF Soundwave review from Bots and Bits. The paint was really bad. Oh, really? Oh, that's disappointing. All right, so I think we're getting close to expending all the talking points on at least this guy. We've been talking about a lot of other things, which I actually enjoy doing. You know, I like getting off topic quite a bit. And clearly I like to talk. And it's nice to hear from you guys, getting kind of like mini reviews from you guys on figures that I don't own. Because I appreciate that as well. Because I only have finite money. As much as my wife seems to think I spend all her money on toys, I actually don't. So getting some opinions from you guys on other figures is really nice. All right, so last call for any questions regarding this guy. Hopefully I showed off some comparisons that were useful to everyone. This one is actually a really stark difference, right? Like look how small it is. Question: See Nautica turbines on her back on the comic. I don't know what that means. How about Soundwave Linkin Park edition? Oh no, no, definitely not that gold and black one. No. Evil Good Guy, yeah, Boreas. I don't know. I have no idea why Boreas came out later, but Boreas is coming out very soon. I don't know if you just joined or not, but I should be getting Boreas this week. They said they'll be shipping him out tomorrow, and then I should have him by the end of the week or early next week, depending on how fast DHL Express wants to be. Usually you get it within 3 or 4 business days. So I'm going to try to do a live stream on him next week or the following week, depending on what my schedule is and when he actually gets here. How heavy or solid is Dicamus feel? Oh, I mean, he feels really solid as far as weight. I can actually do that. Give me a second to get my scale. MMC Insecticon soon. Yeah, the Insecticons, that's been a really weird journey for that. Because it started out, I think, as Ocular Max and then is now MMC, or actually it was originally MMC, then came out as Ocular Max, and now it's back as MMC brand. I mean, same company essentially. So as far as weight, he is 12 ounces, which I think is heavier than, is that close to as heavy as MP10? MP10 is, yeah, come on. MP10 is 14.6, and this has diecast. So 12 ounces is pretty hefty for this guy. But then again, he is also quite big. And that's with his weapons and everything, so maybe that's a little bit cheating. But in terms of feel, he does feel really solid. Doesn't feel like, the questionable mold with, what's his name? Deadlock and everything like that. Really nice plastic, as we've come to expect. Very much in line with the rest of, like this guy. One of my favorites. When are we going to see a Transformers Zeta Prime, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron? I don't know much about Zeta Prime, honestly. So I'm going to say I have no idea. But I don't think that's on anyone's roadmap for anytime soon. Who is that? Are you talking about Zeta Prime Silver or somebody I said? I think, didn't they just do? They did send all Prime. The purple guy? Oh, the purple guy is Spartan. That's Impactor. MMC Spartan. He's really awesome. Do you think Ab Crunch will finally be seen more often in future third-party figures? Honestly, it's gonna probably come down to just transformation. The stun gun doesn't fit in Dicamus's hand. I don't see why it wouldn't, based on the fact that they use standard pegs. But give me 1 second to just partially transform his hand, and I'll give you a definitive answer. But it should. My answer is it. I'd be very surprised if it didn't. Here, let me open this up a bit. It's a little tight, actually. Surprisingly, it's a little tight. And I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this correctly, just because I'm doing it partially transformed. I mean, it goes in partially, but then there's like an extra ridge on the hand. So maybe... Oh, there we go. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does look like a pea shooter. but it's also weird that I'm having him hold it like this backwards in alt mode. But if you guys don't have this guy, you kind of missed the boat, because I actually got a couple of questions from a couple of other people on my Facebook page asking if they're planning to reissue him or Commodus, his mold mate, which is... No, I'm not going to remember his real name. What is Commodus' real name? The black guy in Drift's enemy. In any case, they asked me if they're going to doing any reissues of Commodus or Spartan and MMC. Thank you, Andrew. Turmoil. Gosh, I'm terrible at names. And I got confirmation from MMC yesterday that there are currently no plans for any reissues. So take that as you'd like. But like the other day, the person who asked me because they said these guys are going for crazy money. Like Impactor's going for like I think over $200 or something like that on eBay, which is crazy. There's no way you should be paying over $200 for that figure. He's a great figure and all, but that's like more than double his retail. So if you missed the boat on this, I'm really sorry. That's really too bad, because he is an excellent figure, and I love his alt mode. Did somebody ask for another comparison with Impactor? I did that a couple times already. Let me do one last really quick transformation, since it is easy. Yeah, I am TFC. I'm glad that you got him too, because no one should be paying $300 for him. I'm almost tempted to sell him. Somebody on TFW mentioned that they just sold theirs for like $300 or something crazy like that on eBay, a used one, which is just nuts to even consider. I mean, I like money though, so who knows? Maybe I'll sell him and then beg MMC to give me one of their samples or something like that. You got an Impactor for $40? Nice job. Yeah, go check eBay. Impactor and Commodus, their Turmoil is going. They're both going for ridiculous money. So if you have one and you're short on money, or you want to collect something else, or you need money for Dicamus, go ahead and sell your Impactor and make a nice wad of cash. Now people are going to be like, Pig's a scammer, a scalper enabler. He's telling people to scalp figures. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just telling you what the reality is. All right, so we're going to come to a close very shortly. I already said last call, but it looks like a couple people joined. If you have one last question or two, post it now or forever hold your peace, because I'm going to call it a night. Does it come with any guns? Just his large shoulder cannon? Yeah, so we talked about it earlier. He comes with 2 of these missile launchers, which you can make like that. 1 rifle. And then this, you can combine it like this or mount it like that. And if you order from Planet Steel Express, they have an exclusive gun, which looks like Titanica's gun, this one, but molded in green. So this is actually slightly molded differently at the front. So you would be getting, robust Impactor. What else did he get? Yeah, he had. What else did he have? He had like a drill hand, so you can pull this out, and then you could put a drill hand in there, and this gun here, and I think maybe he had another one. Yeah, Lucas, PSX does have another gun, another rifle. So Impactor does have some other weaponry. I just can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but he definitely has like a couple of drill hands that he's known for, and maybe some other things, but I don't remember off the top. And a harpoon. Oh yeah, you're right. There is a harpoon, as well, a silver harpoon piece. Thanks, IMTFC. And then if you got the Planet Steel Express exclusive of Carnifex, you actually got another harpoon with a actual metal wire that could help you recreate the scene where he pokes his Carnifex's eyes out, or I guess Overlord's eye out. It only came with a figure and cannon for me. Oh yeah, so I mean you got it for $40, so I'm not gonna feel sorry that you didn't get everything. Is Tyrantron still scheduled for May, or has that changed? I don't know the exact schedule for this stuff. They haven't updated me there, but I can go ahead and ask them later tonight or tomorrow, and I'll try to get an answer for you there, Trench, okay? But as far as I know, that was actually pretty close to finished, so I'd be surprised if they pushed it back too far. So right now, I think the next release is going to be, well, obviously him. He's out now. Boreas, which is Cyclonus. And then I think the next figure should be one of their Whirl molds, which is the Oberon. Oberon is Obsidian, the Beast Machine's Obsidian, or their actual Whirl mold. I think that's next, and I think Tyrantron's after that. But I could be mixing it up. Don't hold me to that. I don't know for sure, but I'll check what the order of that is going to be. All right. Do you do a review for Trypticon Fall of Cybertron Planet X? I can't do that because I actually just got out of collecting the Planet X stuff because of the fact that I never played any of the games. So I had no connection to that. I did have their Omega Supreme that I just sold recently because I'm going to get the more G1 version from Fans Toys. But yeah, I've never been a War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron collector. It was really just a placeholder because I wanted a Omega Supreme in my life. And now that we're going to get a more G1 one from Fans Toys, I went ahead and sold that. So there was no reason for me to get Trypticon. Yeah, so sorry, no Planet X Trypticon for me. But that's been out for, I think, like a month or two, right? There should be some really good reviews of that. I did really like their Omega Supreme. But for me, it's just not something I want to spend, $300 plus $400 on for something that doesn't hold a lot of nostalgia for me. All right. So we're coming right up on the hour, so I'm going to cut this off now. Hopefully you guys got a better look at Dicamus and answered any questions. Are there any articulation limits at the knees if the feet are reversed? No, there aren't. Because this is how Titanica is made. You get this much with the wheels forward, and you just flip this around, you get basically the same amount. And then you also have the top knee joint as well. So let's be clear, you actually get a lot more knee articulation if you wanted. You can get really far deep. Because of the way the transformation works, it needs that knee articulation. But you get 2 joints at the knee, and you can basically fold it up on itself. You can do a kneeling pose. Thanks, Silver. I appreciate it. I always appreciate your comments. You comment a lot on my reviews and always say really nice things. So I appreciate you supporting and watching and joining us for the live streams. Yeah, Boreas, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one because I think that mold was really bad. And I probably think that the Cyclonus version of that mold looks the worst, which I think is kind of odd because you would think that they would want that mold primarily for Cyclonus because he'd be the most popular character. But I think it actually works better for like their Deadlock or Deadlock? Is it Deadlock? Whatever that bounty hunter's name is. I thought that was actually the best use of the mold so far. And the Anubis was kind of a nice bonus since you got a Death's Head. Who would ever create a Death's Head figure, honestly? So I thought that was a nice bonus. But yeah, hopefully they took all that feedback from how bad it was that they're going to be improving it for this one. So we'll see. Hopefully. Bit late for live streams in Europe. It's 5 a.m. in Holland. Sorry about that. I try to do it when the kids are asleep here. So I have 2 kids. I got to do it after 9 o'clock. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you have a good one.